What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Since the last K24 Turbo MR2 Spyder video, I've been a bit busy. So busy that I didn't put out a video in over 3 months. I was traveling to and from Las Vegas so much that I decided that it would be best if I just moved back to Las Vegas. Then I came to the realization that once I moved, I'd have to put off the K24 Turbo MR2 Spyder project temporarily. It was at that time that I decided that I needed to get through the build as fast as possible at the cost of not capturing all the details on camera. Now, I'm sure some of you won't mind, but in the beginning, the stated plan was to show everything on camera. Well, those plans have changed. I still have a lot of footage, mostly because I let the digital camera and GoPro run while I was working and whipped out my trusty cell phone for anything really important. And FYI, the second video clip in the intro, that's Project K24 Turbo MR2 Spyder up and running flawlessly. Now, I still have oil feed and return leaks that I need to fix. I have to install some gauges and gauge pod, and I have to get the vacuum and boost lines ran. Once done, this guy will be off to the dyno to make some power. Enough of that, let's get into the video. In this video, we'll swap the shifter bushings, the shifter cable, and the parking brake cables, and then we'll smash the firewall, and we'll prep the brake booster line, and then modify the IG2 and EFI wires to work with the K-series motor. Alright, so we're looking at the shifter, I guess, base, or the shifter mechanism, I don't know, whatever, this big plastic base right here, and it's still got the regular bushings in it, and you can see when I move it, this little rubber in here, you can see it kind of give a little bit and allow this to kind of rock a little bit. I don't know if that comes across in the video, but so what I'm going to do is replace it with some solid, I guess, billet aluminum bushings, and they're going to eliminate that little bit of movement that you see there. This is what the old bushing looks like with one of these. So this is going to go under the bottom, and then it's going to come through this little hole right here just a little bit, and then it's going to bolt down, and it's going to have absolutely no give whatsoever. So let's see what that looks like. This is the shift cable. So this would be the gate cable, and I have to pop that off. All right, so the work that I did last night, I took out the stock rubber bushings here, took those out, put these solid bushings in right here, and now it's hard mounted to the chassis. So like I said, this doesn't go anywhere at all, it doesn't give, so the shifter feel should be better. And then of course this thicker cable right here, so I went ahead and got that installed, and that's all good. And then while that was out, while the fuel tank was out anyway, I went ahead and swapped out the shifter cables. They're the same, so, or sorry, the parking brake cables, they're the same. And I can see them actuate now when I move the lever, so you can actually get back there and move it by hand once you get the hard rusted cable out. So I guess my challenge is figuring out how to preserve these new cables. So this side is all buttoned up, and this side pretty much is too, but it looks like, very simply, this rubber is just going to wear over time, and this is all going to seize up. So I'm going to have to figure out a good way to prevent that from happening. So what you want to do here is make a template for where your intake manifold would make contact with the firewall, and then you want to make a similar template for where your alternator would make contact with the firewall. And the reason why this is important is because once you put the motor back in a car and you go for a drive, the motor is going to move a little bit and it's going to make contact with the firewall, and I believe the alternator would cause damage. Not so much the intake manifold, but all intake manifolds are not created equal. The RBC is definitely longer than some of the other ones, so you do want to smash in the firewall. And this single hard line here is going to be for your brake booster hose, and you're going to want to cut it right about here. This is the coolant hose here, upper coolant hose, and I have to cut about 4 inches out of this, And so basically I'm just gonna make it simple. I'm just gonna make a cut here and make a cut here. All right, so got, you know, 4 inches taken out, and let's see here, where is it? Yeah, about 4 inches. So that looks pretty good. So I can toss that and set that down. I got a barbed fitting, and just got to find my clamps, but that's pretty much that. This is my modified coolant hose. All right, we are cramped up in the bay here, and I'm zooming in on this little box here because this little thing here, along with these instructions, is what I need to modify in order to get this engine to work properly in this car. So it says here blah 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 blah. Anyway, I did this before. The meat and potatoes is pretty much right here, and so what I have to do is make sure I find the right wires. So I have to pop this off and flip it over. I should probably break this harness right here in order, let me see something, to get a little bit more slack on that. Let's see. All right, that's a little bit more slack. All right, pop that loose. And here we have the goods under here. All right. And what we have to do, where is it? My instructions. Okay, so we're looking for, once you've properly located the 2 relays, turn the relay box over. Okay, so let me make sure I find the relays. So IG2 and EFI main. Oh, that's how the guy made the mistake. Because this relay box, it's got a shitty layout. You gotta rotate this shit. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You pull it off and you rotate it? That doesn't make sense. Let me see something. Yeah. If this relay box goes on top of that relay, just like this, you take it off and then you flip it up, and then the layout is correct. So that means this relay box, this goes on like so. You take it, you orient it towards yourself, and you flip it up like this. And basically, this is your layout. So it's kind of interesting that that's how it is, but I can see how somebody can make a mistake. Some guy on the forums probably made the same mistake. So that's kind of a, I don't know. It is what it is. Get familiar with your relay boxes, and that way you don't fuck it up. IG2, so that's going to be this one, and this is the EFI main. So, and then I'm going to rotate them over like so. Once you're properly located the 2 relays, turn the relay box over with the cover removed. It should look like the picture below. Yes, it does. Locate the white wire with a black line on it. That runs directly from IG2 to the EFI main directly. That's going to be this one. We're going to say not exactly directly, but yeah. Okay, and so, and then just to be sure, we flip it up and we see IG2 and EFI main. So that's this wire. So let's sit that back down like so. All right, this is a jumper wire. Cut the wire closer to the IG2 relay, so we're gonna cut it over here.
Take the white black wire coming from the EFI wire You just cut and attach it with the method of your liking to unswitched power source. In the Toyota system, AFI relay is powered up by the ignition, which triggers the IG2 relay. The Honda system uses the ECU to power up the main relay, and this is critical to maintain proper function of the Honda ECU, which is just using the black wire with a yellow line going to the AFI main relay, as this wire already has 7.5 fuse to it in the car.
And so AFI main, black wire with the yellow line, that's this one right here. And so you can tuck these two back in this little loop here. So these are our two wires right here. I'm gonna cut this and I'm gonna tee it into here. Let me double check that. This is what I just read right here. Right? And then warning, danger to manifold. All right, so
Warning, failure to properly perform this step will likely damage your Honda ECU. Please triple check this is done correctly. If in doubt, call, email us with pictures. Okay.
so that is that picture. And then third page, third and final page, big blown up picture. It says take this wire right here. So you got this big bar right here, the same as illustrated right here in the picture. And you're going to have this wire that's oriented just slightly to the left of it. Snow going back now. All right, so this looks like a maybe an 18 gauge, maybe even 22. Let's see here. All right. We're gonna take this. This looks like a 16 gauge maybe. So we're gonna just kind of do that there. And then come on, 16 gauge. Yo. All right. And then I need a little razor blade. Yellow should be big enough, because what I'm gonna do here is take this and I'm gonna just kind of wrap it around here like so. All right. Just kind of wrapped it around a little bit more just to make it look a little bit more secure. And then let's clamp this back down again. And then tuck that back in there. And I'm satisfied with that. I don't think it's going anywhere. And then this little thing right here, we're gonna go with a blue connector. It's a little bit smaller. And this is just so that this wire here stays covered. And for me, that's good enough. Tuck this in there. Maybe this one right here. Yeah, that works. And yeah, I'd call that good. All right, guys. It would have been nice if I could tuck that in there, but it is what it is. That on. And let's snap that all together. And that's good to go, guys. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And put this back on here. And where's me little nuts? I haven't seen this demonstrated, but that's it. It's that simple. You just gotta pay attention to detail and make sure that everything is oriented correctly, and you should be good to go. If for whatever reason the car doesn't fire up, that would suck. It would suck. Okay, and then last but not least, what I like to do is just kind of make sure that this is on here, and it is. So those little plastic pieces that I use, those little terminals or whatever, they're gonna hold because everything is kind of squished in up under here. So that's it.